Welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Savant Video. This episode, I'm going to be doing a review of the new film release, Tomb Raider, which is based on a very popular video game property, and also over the years has been adapted into comic books as well. The movie is starring Alicia Vikander, Walter Goggins. This movie, I have to say, is a fun movie. If you have been familiar with the previous iterations in film of Lara Croft, we had two previous movies that starred Angelina Jolie that was based off the original games that came out in the mid-90s. This current Tomb Raider film is based on the reboot of the video game they did back in 2014. And that's what this new iteration that we have of Lara Croft and Tomb Raider is based primarily on. This is acts as more of a retelling or actual origin story. In the previous Tomb Raider movies, Lara is already established, kind of how we meet her in those earlier games. The reboot served as a telling of her origin on how she became the famous archaeologist and explorer that we know in those previous movies that we had and also the previous games. Alicia Vikander is a very strong actress, Oscar award-winning actress. She does a serviceable job as Lara Croft. Not so much in the beginning of the movie, she did it for me, but throughout the course of the film, she really cements herself as the character by the end of the movie. This movie is not without its flaws. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but what movies are. This is really a fun action movie that you could just go to the movie theater, sit back, and have fun for the almost 2-hour runtime. It's an hour, 58 minutes, so just shy of 2-hour runtime. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Definitely would purchase it on home video. Certain parts of the movie is a little bit slow. My one kind of take back from it, I feel like the script isn't the strongest, and I think that also had a lot to do with Alicia really selling me being a big fan of the games and the comics of the Tomb Raider franchise that I've been over the years. That it took a while, and I don't think it had anything to do with her acting, skills at all. It just felt like the script kind of failed her at parts and didn't give her much to work with. When they did, she really shined as the character, and like I said, as the movie progressed, those parts got stronger, and they started leaning into the reboot 2014 game, and they took a lot from the game towards the end of the movie. And I wish they would have kind of leaned into more of that in the movie than what they did. That part of the movie was really condensed, and it really ran together, and some very good story beats and character beats that are carried on through the game that I felt like would have translated really well into the movie that they kind of shied away from, and he added some kind of a little bit more newer elements, and I felt like it took us too long to get to the action part and the actual Tomb Raider part and her building her character once she got on the island. That part of the movie seems very quick and condensed, and I would have liked to have gotten more of that, being that I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and I think in that they could have done a lot more with Alicia to give her more to explore within the character than what they did. A lot of the beginning part is like a lot of fluff and superficial stuff, and it didn't work nearly as well to me as the middle and the second half of the movie did. But it's definitely a great performance. You could just see the physical transformation, and there's tons of videos, and since they're doing the press junket for the movie, that you get to see how much she gained. Like, I think she said she gained anywhere from like 10 to 12 pounds of just pure muscle. And if you've ever seen Alicia Vikander or anything, she's not a big woman, but the way she dedicated herself, she trained like 3 or 4 months before they ever shot the movie. You could tell and when you see the results in the movie that she really dedicated herself, and they did a great job towards the end of the movie setting up for future films. So I really hope that people go out and support the movie. It Domestically, it made about 23 million opening weekend, which wasn't great, but it was kind of an off weekend this past weekend at the box office. It did strong internationally, but hopefully it can do stronger here in the States as well to assure that they do future films. I think the young director, again, he's has a Norwegian background. His name is Roar Thweg. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Most of his films to date have been Norwegian films. This is his first kind of international or slash Hollywood American release film. He has a really good eye. I just hope, far as the people that wrote the screenplay, that maybe they get a stronger team to really give Alicia some more meat. When you have an Oscar-winning actress, give her just something to work with a little bit more. Because I felt like that, to me, beyond the direction, the cinematography, and the acting, all of those parts were on point. I just feel like the script wasn't the strongest, and it took what was a solid movie, and it really could have been a great movie if the script was a little bit stronger, because the performances and the cinematography were definitely there. And this film had a modest budget, and it plays, again, extremely well, and I had a lot of fun with it. So definitely, if you have chance to check out this movie, I give it 2 thumbs up. Highly recommend it. If you want to listen to my spoiler review once you've seen the movie, you can check the links below. I have a playlist for my audio podcast, which is also by the name of Comic Book Savant. I have a spoiler-filled review for after you've had a chance to see the movie, where I dig down deeper and my likes and dislikes of the film. So I'll have links down in the description. Also, I'll have links to the playlist as well for the audio podcast. I'll link that in the notes below as well. So definitely, if you have a moment and this is your first time checking out the Comic Book Savant channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. And if you like what you see here, share it, like it, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys next time for another episode of Comic Book Savant. You guys take care and go out and enjoy the movie. It's really, really fun. And I'll see you next time. Take care.